me down, I ain't going out. As the culture turns, you gotta figure it out. They see you getting it poppin', they gon' try and come around. I be down to go out like and keep a live round. In the blick, get you hit. Bitch, we gon' get you first. Don't get caught up in the mix. Better watch out for that blitz. Can't deny that I'm lit. You can't deny that I'm lit.
Can't deny that I'm lit. Gotta ride with your blick. Fuck watching for the option. Be the cops to get you hit. I just right up off the porch. Mama said stay up out the mix. Niggas up when I was broke. They left me down on my dick.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to As the Culture Turns. My name is Jameer. I'll be your host for today's episode. Now, before I get into my special guest for today, I want to highly encourage you all to subscribe to the YouTube channel at As the Culture Turns and make sure that you hit that notification bell for more content like this. All right, so on today's episode, I got a one-on-one interview that I'm doing with a local designer by the name of Ruemonge De Seine. All right, so for those who don't know you, Ruemonge, could you let us know who you are, where you from, and what you do?
Yeah, so I'm a fashion designer. That's what I do, design fashion. I have a clothing line called Ruemonge De Seine. Just becoming one of the biggest brands in the fashion industry right now. We're making our way through the industry right now, and I'm from Chester, PA. Grew up in Chester, PA.
All right, that's good. All right. And you say you're a local designer. So before we get into the brand itself, when you came up with the idea to start a fashion line, could you let us know who and what inspired you, or who and what influenced your style or inspired your style?
All right, so my style comes from just fashion in general. Like I've always moved with fashion. So whatever direction that I felt like fashion was going into, I kind of like would capitalize off of that and put my own twist on it. So I don't think I have one style, but just the style of fashion, whatever I think is dope, whatever I think is hot, and pretty much, yeah.
All right, no problem. And for those who may want to see a visual of his style real quick, I do have, a couple pictures that he has sent in. And then I'll also play some clips as well. But, these are pictures of you, and we'll get into the whole Fashion Week thing, but these are pictures of you at your Fashion Week event, New York Fashion Week. Let me put the New York on there. New York Fashion Week.
Yeah.
And, different things right here. So this is just a visual of his style a little bit. All right, now, before we, not before, I want to play a quick video real quick because you do have a brand called Ruemonge De Seine. I want to play this video real quick, and I want it's a video of you in the mall. So we play that real quick and let you see it. All right, so what I was showing that video for is because you do have a brand called Ruemonge De Seine, and I know you have a location. So for those people who may want to purchase some Ruemonge De Seine, where can they buy it from?
Okay, so yeah, we have a website, ruemongedesseine.com. Right now, it's currently under construction because we have a new drop coming in September, preferably right after my what we'll get into, what we'll be talking about in a second. Outside of that, you Christiana Mall right now. In a local area where I'm from, but outside of that, right now I'm also in a few stores in New York right now as well.
You said some stores in New York?
Yeah, showrooms.
There we go. I like that. Now I'm going to ask you this real quick because you are one of, I can say, the people who I know is from the area I'm from locally.
Yeah.
However, you're able to maneuver and do business beyond where you are locally. Could you expound on that a little bit? Because a lot of people feel as though that they need to do things at home first and then go out and do the bigger things. But for you, I feel like you took a different route. You kind of went into the bigger things first.
Yeah. Well, to a degree, that's what it's been. My whole goal with that was, I did start off. Well, technically, I'm from Chester, PA, but when I had my first location, it was on South Street. So I was kind of never really. I was local, but I wasn't local to the city that I was actually from. And from Philly, like it was a Philly brand at first. Which I don't put a title on my brand. It's a global brand, you know. But at the time, they thought it was a brand based out of Philly, and you know, I went from there to doing my first deal with King of Prussia Mall, which I did a kiosk there. Like I think that was 2019, and so I would like to say that I started, you know, like, you know, I feel like I did put the footwork in the tri-state area, but you know, I just had a bigger vision for my brand, and a lot of the things that transpired over the past year or so, I didn't even some of these things I didn't even see coming, to be honest. Like I never knew that I would be like, you know, like in New York Fashion Week, and I'm talking about like commercial productions where, you know, I'm making international headlines, and you know, just it going to that level. Now, as far as me, the entrepreneur side and having a brand, you know, yeah, I've always reached certain heights when it came to that, but you know, now on a more commercial, mainstream level, you know, it's happening for me. So I think that was just part of the plan. That's just what the universe had aligned for me, which is like when the opportunity presented itself, you know, I just took a risk, and it was probably one of the best decisions that I did. You know, when the first opportunity came, because that one, you know, emerged me into the industry. So now I'm getting all type of recognition. Like I said, magazines, headlines. You know, working with different celebrities and throughout the industry, and you know, just did a deal for my first international show, which would be in Paris in February. It was actually supposed to be in September, but I ended up getting, you know, added to a very, very big event that's happening in New York that we'll be discussing in a second. So, you know, so I think for me, it was just the idea of wanting to, you know, I always say I'm gonna be the biggest brand in the world. Like, and I noticed when I just started saying that more and more, and I really started working towards that, it started happening. Like it started manifesting in that direction. So I think for me, also when it comes to once you start to get to a certain level and things start to like move up a little higher for you, like the energy around where you come from actually changes too. So I've been dealing with a struggle with that too, where, you know, at this point, the level of support is not the same as it was before. So what I've learned is that it's, you know, it's 8 billion people in the world. And when I would connect with these other people from different places, they could appreciate what I was doing in my brand and really respect it for what I was doing, and had no prejudgment based on them feeling like they may know me or, you know of me. You know what I'm saying? So I think it had a lot to do with that as well. And just wanting to just, you know, like just grow and be, you know, the biggest, you know. So the goal for me is to keep pushing it until one of the biggest brands in the world. That's the plan, you know. Black owned business, biggest brands in the world, you know. So
There we go.
yeah.
Nah, I definitely do rock with that. That was very good.
Hmm.
I also want to ask you real quick, because you did mention it briefly before we get into what we're discussing. First, I want to ask you. I want to go back to the mall real quick, because I had did some research, and I saw a recent study that nowadays they feel as though that malls are going out of style, and they feel as though that malls are a thing of the past because of things such as Amazon and different things like that.
Right.
I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on that? The importance of a mall. Do you think a mall is actually important in today's time?
I think it depends on where your brand is at, how much notoriety your brand has. I think it also depends on how good the product is that you're selling. You know what I mean, as far as quality and just the way it looks. To me, malls. I always say, you know, malls is like the cheat code. You can always make money in the mall if the demographics is good. So a lot of times, it depends on what mall you're in. You know what I mean, and where, and if it fits the demographics. You could be in a mall over here, but you know, it may not work the same way with you being in the mall over here. You know what I'm saying? So it's really based on demographics. And me, I've been in like every big mall in the tri-state area. I've had stores and 2 stores in King of Prussia Mall, a kiosk. We did a flagship. I did the lofts. I did South Street. So one of the things for me was I had the experience by taking a risk by putting myself in all these different locations and just testing out the market and learning how it works to understand like, all right, what would be the best fit for me if I did, you know, be in the mall or whatever. So now what we did was right now, again, I'm getting bigger offers with retailers and stuff like that now. So I just got my first retailer in Paris. So it's looking like maybe early 2025, Ruemonge De Seine will be officially available in Paris in a high-end store over there. So my goal is just to get as many retailers as I can and still tap into the malls, because the market is still crazy. Like, especially like around holiday time. Like holiday time, you can make a ton of money You know, it's a lot of traffic. You can get a good exposure. Even with me doing a deal that I just did with Christiana, which I did that deal based on doing a series of I did a mall pop-up tour where I hit every big mall in the tri-state area, and we did collaborations with the malls, and whatever mall that I felt like was like the one that had the best demographic and motion for my brand, I would do like a lease deal with them, but have it in the same structure as the pop-up, which I was the first person to ever do it that way. And what we do is it's the same structure, but it's actually in a lease. So I'm literally like it makes it officially a shop now, but it's the same structure. And I did that based on the fact of how much traffic that Christiana was getting. Like I did a collab with a brand back in January, and we did a sold out drop in 2 days. Like everything between me and the brand, everything sold out in 2 days, and that was probably like one of my biggest, sellouts. So yeah, it's still a lot of money in the malls, like a whole lot. It just depends on the demographics and actually knowing what you're doing. A lot of people are not really good with marketing. They don't understand how to present their brand. Like I started something called the Brand Development Academy that also helps up and coming clothing lines learn how to represent and present their brand the right way. To look more official. A lot of brands don't look official. They don't. People don't take them serious because if it's based. Image is everything, you know what I'm saying? And the imagery is not really good with a lot of these brands. So that I created that also to help, so I think that if you understand that, it'll work really, really well for you. I think wherever you put yourself at, it's the same thing with selling online too. Like it's still gonna boil down to good marketing and strategy,
Mm-hmm. Now
Yeah.
that's good. That's a very thank you. That's a very thorough explanation, and thank you because I feel as though that when I saw that article, I'm not gonna lie, when I looked at it from my point of view to see how often I go to the mall, and then I'm someone who don't go to the mall often, and if I go, I'm going
Yeah.
for like an Auntie Anne's pretzel,
Right,
So
right.
to hear what you just said and
Yeah.
everything, it shows me that you know the business and how to operate and how to move and shake
Yeah,
in the
I think
mall.
I think it has a lot to do with that too, understanding business too. Again, I'm well skilled in a lot of area, like all the area, not just having you got some people who have a clothing line, but they're not good with business. You know what I'm saying? Me, I'm not just a clothing brand owner, designer. I'm also a businessman, entrepreneur. So I understand the logic of how to operate in these different lanes, So I think that had a lot. And again, time, like I got almost 8 years in now, so I had to take a lot of losses. I had to make a lot of mistakes, to learn. And I try this over here. This didn't work for me, so maybe I'll do it a little bit differently next time around, or maybe I'll try this way. You know what I mean? To get it right, to see how it would work better for me in my favor with my brand.
Mm-hmm. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how hands-on are you with your designs? So how much of it is you? Is all of it you, or is it like a team and you kind of do like a process of elimination when it comes to your clothing? Now, before you answer that, can I just show a quick video real quick
Sure.
of some of your clothes, and then you
Yeah.
can answer that question.
God, let me swear when she walk. Baby, white paint on these games, you don't know me. You gon' make me show my ass, show you the whole me. I been chillin', laying back, staying low key. No, you don't know me. Told her I'll be right back, be ready to pack it back now. She know I have emotion, don't got time for no nonsense. Christian Dior love, let you listen to Beyonce. She a fashion killer, IG model, she stay on point. Told her I'll be right back, be ready to pack it back now. She know.
All right. So how hands-on are you with your designs?
I'm very hands-on. As far as the designs from graphics to the different logos, it's pretty much all me. Now as far as like, how it gets produced, some of it does go overseas to manufacturers and get produced over there. But anything that I'm sending over there is pretty much my design, and I'm just taking it to them so they could just bring it to life. But everything as far as the looks, the designs, the creative side is all me. So yeah. So I would say pretty much like 100%, 90%, 100%. If you,
I like that. I like that. All right, that's good. And that goes to show the vision that you have for your
yeah,
brand,
yeah,
and where you want to take it
right.
and how you want it to be perceived across people who may be interested in purchasing and buying some of it.
Right.
So that's dope. I like that. Before we get to fashion, we got to get into that right after this next question. I just want to ask you, if if when you say you collaborate and work with people, sometimes when it comes to doing fashion, you have to have like people who are like brand ambassadors or models or different things
Right.
like that. How
Yeah.
do you go about casting models, or if someone was interested in being like a model for your brand, or being a brand ambassador? Number one, is that something that you do with people? And number two, how would they be able to work with you in collaboration with that if that's something you offer?
Yeah, yeah. Well, well, I'm trying to. Well, so that question could kind of like tie into like the Fashion Week thing, but with me learning that whole system and how that works too. So the level of models and people that I work with my brand is like on a it's on a it went to another level now. So I still try to work with people who want to get in the business and want to learn about it as well. So I'm usually just open for it. Given an opportunity, if somebody should, they fit the criteria and they serious, what I'm saying? So yeah, but I think I can elaborate more on that question when we get to like, the Fashion Week, explaining like that process, because again, like that just took me to a different element to understand like how it really works when you want to do it on a much bigger level, on a higher scale. So yeah.
All right, no problem. I know
Yeah.
somebody that may want to work with you.
Yeah. No,
She's actually one of my co-hosts. She's going to be here today, but she had an event, so
okay.
I'll try to link that up and everything, and y'all can figure that out. If she could be a part of the fashion show, or whatever. All
Yeah.
right, so I definitely want to get into the whole fashion week now. Now, before we get into this fashion week, I want to play a clip from last year's fashion week, and then we will
Yes.
dig into what's happening this fashion week.
Okay.
Ring got me wobbling. I don't play the club scene. Too many bodies get the dropping. Watch your fiend shoot up they whole soul win about them. Last year in the tri-state, I got a way to move us out. Surrounded by some boss, I'm in the mansion manifesting. Everything can hit the net. I'm really living what I'm rapping. If I find out you stealing, bitch, you won't have no face. It won't be on fucking trace. Who is he? I don't know. He was just some part-time rap. Protect the brand and my name. Nigga, nobody know about. Only backwoods to the face. Got some guala on the way. Then my palms steady itching. I'm out Palm Springs with Bay. It's too cold where we living. On a whole different coast. Drifting in the fucking farm. With a farm right beside me. We be thumping through this money. Get it right back. Stack it up. Yeah, with them old racks. 20s. 50 Hondo stuff in a Louis bag. Don't say that you know me. You don't know the real me. No, I don't run my mouth. Too many people Joe me. I don't know you are you or your.
All right, so that was from last year, the New York Fashion Week, and this year you are here to promote this year's Fashion Week, which is going down September 14th, day two,
Yes, sir.
in New York at the Armory Arena. So can you
Yeah.
just let us know a little bit about this particular Fashion Week? What are some things you got planned? Who's going to be there, and
All right.
why this is such a congratulatory moment for you?
All right. So yeah. It's called the Fashion Week Festival. From me doing you just showed my premiere show first. That was the one about 12 months ago. We did that. That was in September 8th, I think it was. September 8th, we did the premiere. That was like my introduction and virgin show into the industry. And like kind of after that led to what's happening now, you know what I'm saying? Like we did that, and then I came back and did another production in February this year. So actually I did New York Fashion Week twice this year. Like in a matter of 12 months, I've done it on a commercial level 3 times already. So everything is moving pretty fast. I'm getting calls, they reaching out. And I kind of honestly, I don't even know how I got even brought up to the for the Fashion Week Festival. Like I got an email, and they said my brand was selected. So I looked over the email and I was like, okay. So they told me what to do from there. So then when I reached out, I talked to the top person of the company, and we scheduled a meeting, and we did the meeting, and it was just like they wanted to add me to the lineup as a headliner designer. So, I was like, yeah, let's do it. So we did that, and this is a really big production. It's on a commercial level. We have it's a 2-day event. The 13th and the 14th of September. The first day, Glorilla is performing. So it's like a concert. It's a festival. So it's like a concert / fashion week show / concert. So you got the brands who were like premiering their collections like earlier on, and then you got your headliners. So I'm one of the headliners for September 14th alongside Lola Brooke, who will be performing that day with me. And that's pretty much it. It's a big deal.
No, that's definitely a big deal. I
Big
definitely
deal.
want to say congratulations to
Appreciate
that
it.
because that is a big deal.
Yeah.
And for anyone who is into fashion or even working fashion, I'm pretty sure Fashion Week anywhere would be good, but like definitely getting that recognition from New York Fashion Week, which is New York and Paris Fashion Week, because I know you see
That's one.
Paris too.
That's one of the hardest markets. You got to think New York is the top big fashion capitals of the world is New York, Milan, New York, Milan, London, and Paris, I believe. I might be wrong. I might have got a couple, but I think that those is it right there: New York, Milan, London, and Paris. Yeah, those the top capitals. So like once you can tap into those markets, then you really, and New York is one of the hardest. You know what I mean? Because it's like that's not an easy city. And honestly, like my brand has just been blowing up in New York. I done collaborations and events, and we done had hundreds of people come out. We had multiple billboards go up in Times Square. We had again, you seen the first Fashion Week show that was commercial production with Runway 7. So like I said, ever since then it was just kind of like it's just been heating up and it's continuing to heat up. You think a year later you can already see the elevation from then to me doing the festival, and being a headliner at that. So, and what's special about this is I'm presenting my first full collection. So it's an 18 look collection. So it's been crazy. Like I literally been, in between running my shop and preparing for the show. It's been crazy. I'm exhausted. You know what I mean? I know we were trying to get together to, actually sit down and physically do the interview. And it was like, the time frames and stuff like that. But like now I've been working really, really hard. Like I dedicated, the past 2 years to just successfully accomplishing what I'm trying to do right now. And we got a lot more to do. This really just the start of it, but just to make it to this point, you know what I mean, and make it to the festival and be doing it on that level is crazy. So like I'm excited. A lot of people ask me like, are you excited? And probably for like I've been on the lineup for like the past 2 months now, 2 months or so, you know what I mean? And people would ask me like, are you excited? And I'm like, I couldn't even tell them I was excited yet because the amount of work that go into like putting this together. I'm like, yeah, I get more excited closer to the date, maybe like the day of or the day before. But we like 20 days away now, so the adrenaline is starting to it's coming now. So I'm excited. I got a solid collection. I'm getting to present a lot of the newer looks and stuff like that I worked on the past year that I've gotten like a crazy reaction. Like like some of the stuff from the drop that I just did when I opened up at Christiana got a real crazy reaction in Delaware. Like we had some viral pieces that's just been moving around. People coming from out of state to come shop. So all the new stuff that I've been working on is really like is making its mark. So I'm excited to present some of those looks, and then we got some for the fall collection, we got some of those looks that'll be inserted into the collection too. So I think it's definitely a solid collection we present.
That's good. That's what's up. Listen here, man. I respect that. I got a real nigga like question to ask real quick before I get into this video. All right. And I just always wanted to ask this. And I think I know the answer to it, but I'm gonna ask you. So for New York Fashion Week, is that something that you get paid to do, or is it more so of the publicity and the exposure that's the payment as opposed to like getting paid money?
Well, it depends on who you're doing it with, what type of situation and deal you may have with whatever production company you're working with. A lot of these production companies I'm working with are on a commercial level. So I think that just boils down to the deal that you structure with them and how big your name start to get. When they start requesting you, then yeah, it's definitely money involved. But like when you come in and you emerging, like when I did Runway 7, I was an emerging, as an emerging designer when they called me or whatever. So yeah, we had to we had to put, a lot of money into that whole marketing process and getting stuff done, you know what I'm saying? And just for the benefit of being able to put my brand and my name where I wanted it at to get to those next levels to actually be able to make money. But a lot of the money you'll make is off of monetizing the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So when you get the opportunity and people see you doing Fashion Week and they see you doing it on that level, you got other people calling you like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I done deals since I done Fashion Week, you know what I mean? Close my own deals, you know what I'm saying, that I've made money off of. So that platform alone puts you in the spotlight and it puts you where you need to be. So the goal is to keep growing it. But the ultimate goal is once they get familiar with you enough, you start getting buyers. Like the last show that I did in February was in front of like 80% of the audience was buyers. I had no idea. Like when I showed up, one of the guys I was working with, a celebrity stylist, they had me working with, and he came in my dressing room and he's like, like 80% of the audience is buyers. And a lot of people may not know what buyers is, but once you get deep enough in the fashion industry, you know what it is. And like if you look at like Micah Mary or Balenciaga or any of those type of brands like that, like they all are in like Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Ave from getting buyers. So they get the buyer, and the buyer puts them internationally into like every location that they have, and some of the other stores that's on that level as well too. So the goal is to ultimately get a buyer. You know what I mean? If that's the direction that it's supposed to go in, which I believe it will, because I've already talked to some, and it's just heating up on that level to like make this an international brand, which is already international. Like I said, I got my first retailer in Paris, and doing my first show in Paris in February, and then there'll be more to come. You know what I mean? And I've been in international magazines. I've done 2 already. Designer of the month in 1. So yeah, the name is reaching, is going global. I didn't got emails from all overseas to do other shows and other magazines and stuff like that. It's like the best thing about doing Fashion Week on a commercial level is the headlines. One of the best parts about it is the headlines, because the headlines put you everywhere. So you got people waiting for the next big brand. They like, what's the next big brand? So when you're able to get on these platforms, even when you look at my show that I did back in September, like a good portion of that audience was people who love fashion, like on another level. And some of them were like multi-millionaires that were sitting there watching my show. And it's like they're waiting to see like what's next, you know what I'm saying? So again, it's just a thing of you continue to put yourself in front of their faces, continuing to make new noise, and especially like I said in New York, being able to tap into that market. That's not an easy market to tap into. And we put a lot of work in, and they're finally embracing my brand and me as well. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very happy about that.
No, that's good. No, listen here, man. You should be happy about that.
Yeah.
Like that right there. Which I hope whoever is watching this just capture a lot of the gems that you drop. I know I'm gonna have to go back and watch and catch all the gems you drop, because I'm listening, but also making sure that I'm on focus on the next question. So I think that the type of knowledge that you got and the type of knowledge that you drop, I really do think, and I'm gonna say this as someone who's from the same city as you, I believe that you are someone that's really doing their thing. And that deserve that recognition. However, what I respect and like about you is that you're not looking for recognition on some local popularity stuff. You're looking at it. You putting in the work. They be like, you know what? If y'all don't see it, the world gonna see it.
The world gonna see it.
I commend you for that.
And then it comes back to them, because eventually how it works is once the world catches on, you know what I mean, then the people who act like they wasn't trying to catch on they have no choice but to ride the wave now. So again, it's going, no matter how you look at it, it comes back home. Whether you just had some people that's thinking way, way bigger. Me, I've always thought bigger. Even if you look at my me as an entrepreneur, putting doing stores and who else is, you can only name probably like 1 or 2 other brands who've had a store, actual store in King of Prussia Mall, which is like the second largest or the third largest mall in the country. You know what I'm saying? And they got every high-end fashion designer store in there. And I took a risk to even do that. But even before that, like technically I was the first brand ever to be in King of Prussia Mall when I did the kiosk. Nobody had never took a risk and done something like that before, but me, I was always trying to push the culture and just push it to another level to open the doors for the brands that came after that was fortunate enough to put their brands in the mall. So again, it's always been me just trying to just think bigger, like, all right, how far can you push this? I think, I heard a lot of people say that, like they, that made it to really high successful levels, that if they knew what they knew now, that they would have dreamed a lot bigger when they first started dreaming. So now, I pick up on that and I learn from that, and I'm just like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna just dream as big as I can. So let's go. We're gonna be the biggest brand in the world, and we're gonna stand on that till we the biggest brand in the world, or one of the biggest brands in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
nah, I respect that. I like that.
Yeah.
Earlier you did say something about like a pop-up shop. I do believe I have that video. I'm gonna play that clip. Then I'll ask you one more ask you another question about the fashion show.
Okay.
Let me
See my ex name with 3 wives. Man, this shit don't make no sense. I just bought the man, shit don't make no. I just threw it, man, shit. I just threw it, eat back on my tongue, I'm really lit. I've been up 3 days straight, I'm tryna chase an M. Money talks is trappy, we like meeting and Terry. New seats, cherry, turn to interior red. I see you watching me, nigga, go get some bread. Damn, man, this shit don't make no sense. You better hit a lick before you end up in a jam. I don't gotta get you, but my demon gotta feed. I won't let you get between me and the green. All I see is dollar signs.
Was that the New York pop-up shop right there?
Yeah, I did that with it's a big company in New York called Bowery Showroom. They work with a lot of the biggest brands in the world, you know what I mean? Like they collab with BB Simmons. They work, you know, and then how they do they pop-ups, they collab them with like different celebrities and stuff like that. And it's wild because the elevation that I'm talking about is when I did my premiere show back in September, you know, the whole weekend we was just in New York City after the show, just, you know, celebrating, turning up, you know, just soaking in that New York Fashion Week energy. And it was a pop-up mentioned to us like, yo, y'all need to go check this pop-up out. So we went. It was actually out of that, and I think Gunna had a concert there. So we're gonna go to the Gunna concert, or we gonna go to the pop-up. So we slid past the pop-up, and the pop-up had a line around the corner. So we like, yo, and they had like Fabio Foreign, I think like Fat Joe was in there, something like that. And I'm like, yo, so I had no idea that this was the company, right? So you know, being that the line was like so crazy long, we just kind of like, you know, we scoped the scene out and then we left. And then you look like not even like 5 months later after doing, you know, my premiere show or whatever, I get a call from them, you know, asking me to do a collaboration with them in New York City, you know, at their showroom. And we did it, you know, and we'll probably be doing some more with them too. You know, I built a relationship with the owner, Matt. Shout out to Matt. And I learned a lot from them too, just doing that, tapping into that market. That was something new for me. I've never done nothing like that, you know, that far away from, you know, where I started my brand at, you know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, in retail or, you know, a showroom or something like that. So, yeah, so that's pretty much how that happened. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, no problem. All right, and then before we get out of here, I definitely want to ask you, or could you let people know for the upcoming fashion show that's coming up on September 14th? Where can people purchase tickets if they would like to attend this fashion show?
You can go to the modelexperience.com. You go to the modelexperience.com and purchase the tickets. Right now it's like the show is like we like 80% sold out right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. My phone going off.
No problem.
Yeah, we're like the show is like 80% sold out right now. But if you want to get a ticket, like all the field level tickets is sold out right now. But if you want to get a ticket, you could go there, and we still got some balcony seats left. But yeah, the modelexperience.com is where you can go get the tickets at. I think the first day is fully sold out. The only thing they may have is like the all access tickets, and then day two, you like 80% sold out. But if you like to attend and you would like to get a balcony seat, you can go on the modelexperience.com and get your tickets.
All right, y'all here. So make sure if y'all interested in going to the fashion show to see Lola Brooke, to see Ruemonge De Seine, to see, you know, the rest of the people that'll be in there. It's a great networking opportunity, I'm sure. Great media opportunity, I'm sure. So if you're interested, make sure that you go to the website. You said the model chick.
The modelexperience.com.
The model experience, or the modelexperience.com. There
Yeah.
we go. And then for those that's interested in following you and, you know, keeping up with you, where can they find you at on social media? Where can they find your clothing? Just drop all of where they can find you at.
Okay. So the business Instagram page, I have two actually. I have one is RuemongeDeSeine.com, and I have another one that is at the House of Ruemonge. It's at the House of Ruemonge. That's on Instagram. My personal page is the real_Nye. And Facebook is Ruemonge De Seine, and the website is RuemongeDeSeine.com. Those are and TikTok, Ruemonge De Seine, if you want to follow me on TikTok. And outside of that, you could just come to the physical location at Christiana Mall, which is in Delaware. So that's how you
good.
Can.
No, that's good. I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get out of here. I've actually did buy something from your brand before. I was gonna wear it on today's episode, but it's obviously like it was a long sleeve. so it's too
Yeah,
hot to wear it right now, you know. But what I
yeah,
can say is that I could co-sign that you have good quality.
yeah,
Me and Chanel, I remember the time when you interviewed with us the first time, we both bought stuff from you. She bought
yeah. She
sneakers
got
from
the
you. I
sneakers.
bought
Yeah,
the sweater from you and everything. You got
right.
great quality of things. I can tell that you actually put effort and time into your stuff, you know. So
Yeah,
I just want to say I'm a fan from a distance and a fan from afar, and just to keep on doing what you're doing, to keep
appreciate it.
on being that example, and to continue to push and elevate your brand, because I do think you are doing your thing and you're very business mind focused, you know. So I can
Yeah,
co-sign that, and I will, when I get a chance, come to that physical location at Christiana Mall.
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yep,
Thank
no
you.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem. All right, y'all. So again, that was my interview with Ruemonge De Seine today. Again, he dropped everything. If you want to keep up with him, you go to Christiana Mall to the physical location, or follow him on all social media platforms. Now, again, y'all, as I said in the beginning, please make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all hit that notification bell. And if you're interested in following the podcast, follow us on Instagram at As The Culture Turns. And you can follow me personally at Jameer on Instagram with 3 underscores. All right. So thank you again, Ruemonge.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a